So this is an issue very close to your heart because you've been through exactly what Angelina went through. Tell me about your experience.
Well, about 5 years ago, I was 41 years old. I had actually just had my first mammogram, which came back clean. And I was doing a routine self-exam in the shower, and I found a lump in my breast that had not been there before. Was familiar enough with what I normally felt like, so I knew something felt different, and I went right to the doctor. And a few days later was diagnosed with breast cancer. A few weeks later was after a wonderful nurse educator did my family history, my family health history. She recommended, because I'm an Ashkenazi Jewish woman, which put me at higher risk for genetic-based breast cancer, and I was so young in my diagnosis, that I have that genetic test as well, that the BRCA test. And I ended up being diagnosed as BRCA2 positive. Angelina was BRCA1. And that puts us between a 40 and 85% chance of getting breast cancer sometime during our lifetime, and ovarian cancer as well. And the closer you get to 50, the more likely the chances go up. So my breast cancer was very early stage. It was 1A, and I was recommended initially to just have a lumpectomy and radiation. But once I was diagnosed with the breast cancer gene, I went as far as Angelina did as well, and had a partially prophylactic double mastectomy. I had breast cancer in one breast, but didn't want to wait for the other shoe to drop for the rest of my life, and so I had a double mastectomy. Also had an oophorectomy, means I had my ovaries removed to dramatically reduce my risk. And so I had little kids, and I wanted to be around for them for a long, long time.
Right, and again, the story very parallel to Angelina, who wrote this brilliant op-ed piece. I thought
it was
incredibly
incredible.
Read it last night, and for you, Debbie, when you read it, what did you feel? Because you've obviously must have related so much to it. You've got children as she does, and we're thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it was like reading my own story and reliving my own decision all over again. I totally can relate to what she's saying. It's it's not an easy decision to have your breasts removed and to force yourself into early menopause, but it really wasn't even a close call for me, and I bet if I was able to talk to her, not for her either. Her op-ed really made that clear, because when you're she fortunately, she made the decision to do it without having cancer, to make it less likely that she would eventually get it. I had already had it, so the odds of my having a recurrence were dramatically high. And so to me, thinking about whether I would be there for my children's birthdays and graduations and important milestones, I just didn't want there to be any question. And so
the same as she was saying.
Dramatically reduced the likelihood.